Well, I'm back down the Park Lake. It's been a little while since I've come down. Well, I've just been picked up by a gull and the line snapped, so clearly it must have hit a rock. Keep trying, hopefully try and get one even bigger as well. That'd be brilliant. Well, what an amazing carp that was. I can't believe it. What a brilliant start as well. Only a small one, but just nice to catch. Well, I'm back down the Park Lake. It's been a little while since I've come down here. Things have changed a lot though. It's not that easy anyway. It's going to be tricky. I think it's going to be hard. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen. I'm either going to do alright or I'm going to struggle and not catch much. But I'm going to give it a really good go. I'm pushing myself to try and get out more down here. So hopefully I'll be able to produce something decent anyway. Last video I said that I was after a 20-pounder, which are the originals in here. I'm still after that. I am going to try and catch as well. I don't mind if I catch a few doubles. You know, it's definitely going to get a bit more trickier, so anything will do. But if I do get that 20-pounder, which are the original ones, I would love it. I would absolutely love that. So we'll see what happens anyway. I've changed things a little bit since my last sessions down here. I've changed bait. I've changed to one rod to make it easier to come down and to drop into spots. I'm still doing morning sessions, by the way, so I'm only doing a morning session today, and then I'll come back as soon as possible. I'm going to try and string together as many morning sessions as I can in the whole of November, so we'll see what happens anyway on that. Put more effort in, maybe that might produce more carp, you never know. So for this morning session, I've actually come to a swim that I've actually caught on before. In my previous videos in the park, this is the swim that I've caught from. So I thought, make a start here, see if I can produce something from here, then I'll move on and try other spots again. You know, last time I did try something a bit different, but didn't produce anything. But I picked out a few spots down in the sort of deeper end, only slightly deeper, and maybe that might produce something a bit bigger, but for now I thought start on this spot, try and produce something straight away, and then maybe move on later on in my sessions, and hopefully then I might produce something a bit bigger, you never know. So like I said, I'm only fishing with one rod, so I've decided to cast that rod in the only spot on this swim that I've caught from, which is literally just off an island. It's about maybe 3 foot from the island. It is rather shallow, but it can produce carp, and it's a good spot. It's reasonably firm. It's a little bit soft around the edges of the island, but that spot is a little bit firmer, and I think that's why I've caught on it before. It's a bit hard to cast from this swim, so I have to undercast. So I have to sort of stand in front of this like tree at the front of the swim and just sort of flick it and do my best to try and get it on the spot, just because there's hanging trees above and everything, so it does make it a bit more trickier, but yeah, you can get there eventually. It takes a few casts, but I'm happy where I am, happy with the spot. I'm on helicopter setup. I've also got Ronnie rig on as usual, as I normally do. But I've changed bait. It's an ocean fruit 15mm wafter, tipped off with a plastic corn. I've also gone for a different baiting approach. I've got 18mm ocean fruits. I've also got 15mm walnut and 12mm walnut. 3 different sizes and 2 different flavours. You know, might make a difference, you never know. I thought I might change things up and try something a bit different and see if it produces anything. You never know. I'm hoping to get a carp this morning. Let's see what happens, and hopefully it's something decent as well. Well, you look at that, an 18-pound mirror from the Park Lake on an ocean fruit wafter, tipped off a plastic corn. 2 minutes has been in, 2 minutes. I can't believe it. I did actually think I had a bream on. Turned out, no, it wasn't a bream, it was a carp. It was just really lazy. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that awesome? I'm going to get him back. Well, what an amazing carp that was. I can't believe it. What a brilliant start as well. Can't ask for more than that. £18, pretty good, pretty good. Nice looking mirror as well. Not too sure if it's an original or not, I don't know. The stockies don't go that big, I don't think, unless it's putting a lot of weight. The reason I thought it was a bream is that I had a funny occurrence on the indicator, and it just went up and down, and I thought, it's just a line bite. Then I thought, oh, maybe it's a bream, and then it went again, so I picked it up, and yeah, it was just sitting on the spot. It was literally just sitting there, and I kind of moved it, it splashed, and then I thought, is that a big bream or is that a carp? And then yeah, then I noticed it was carp, and I got overexcited, and I was like, okay, I better play it properly. Because you know, when it's a bream, you just reel it in thinking, oh god, I've got to reel this in. But yeah, I know how to play it safely, because I knew it was a decent carp, so pretty good. Yeah, things are looking good though. I'm expecting to get something else, but we'll see anyway. The moment I can take anything I'll get in this park. It's tricky, so yeah, catching is good. Mostly you do blanking, so yeah, it's good, especially when I'm doing only morning sessions. That makes it much more tricky to get bites. Obviously I'm not spending that much time here, but at least I'm pre-baiting, so that's giving me a little bit of a chance of getting something. But overall it is pretty tricky, so I'm going to keep going, and hopefully I can get something else today before I have to go. I'll give it a couple of hours and see what happens. Well, that's my morning session done. Pretty good, landed a nice £18 mirror. I'm really happy with that. About 3 or 4 minutes after I recast, after I had that bite, I managed to hook into another carp, but I managed to lose this one. It looked only about £10, I saw it jump out, it managed to get into a really bad snag, which I just couldn't get it out at all. I tried everything, it was properly locked in, and eventually the line snapped and I lost it. Doesn't matter too much, that's what happens when you fish in a park with massive snags in the lake, and also massive rocks as well, which is always fun. So you do lose a few, but at least I landed the better one of the two, so I'm happy with that. I'm definitely going to be back down soon. I'm going to keep pre-baiting, I'm going to keep trying, hopefully try and get one even bigger as well. That'd be brilliant, but it would just be nice to keep catching from the park, so we'll see what happens. Well, I am back at the park. It's been about a week since I was down here last. I have been pre-baiting spots, but I just haven't been able to get down. I've been busy doing a few things, but now I'm not so busy. I've come back again, and I've come back in the same swim, because last time I did so well, might as well do one more session in here. It's been doing bites for me, and I've actually seen people fishing from the opposite bank, and they've been catching as well. Every time I've come down to pre-bait, I've seen them catch. It just seems like this is the spot at the moment. I have been baiting some other spots as well, but I just haven't had a chance to go and fish them. If nothing really happens too much on this session, and maybe I get a little one or I don't get nothing, then I might move on and try another spot. But just because I caught so well last time, you know, I did lose one as well, so I did actually have 2 bites overall. And obviously I had the 18-pounder, which I'm still happy about as well, especially how hard it's been here. So I'm fishing the exact same bait as I did last time, the Ocean Fruit Wafter, tipped off with a plastic corn. That's a sinking plastic corn, because obviously you don't want to add to the buoyancy of the Wafter. And I'm doing the same bait and approach as well, so you know, just a mixture of different sizes and 2 different types of boilie. Yeah, things have done well for me so far, so I'm going to continue with it and see if it gets me any more bites anyway. If it starts working, then I might try something different, you know, but at the moment I'm happy to stick with that. Last time I came down it was really windy, and well, I've just had a take and it felt like a reasonably decent carp, and the line snapped, so clearly it must have hit a rock or something sharp underneath the tree on the island in this swim, and yeah, 20-pound line straight in half. Nothing you can do about it, I suppose. I'll just keep going. Yeah, I was about to say that the weather last time was absolutely terrible. It was really windy, it rained a little bit as well, but today is meant to be really sunny and nice, but a bit more colder. But I thought it looked like a better conditions for this swim, especially, I don't know why, but when it's sunny and reasonably warm, you do get more bites, and they do stay around this area much longer. But yeah, as I proved, they are still here and it still can be caught. Just got to try and land them. That's the problem at the moment. So yes, I am trying everything here to try and land them. Well, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to get the rod back out, and hopefully there's another chance today. Let's see. Well, it's been a little while since I had that bite. The only thing I've had since then is I've had a couple of gulls come down and pick up the rig, which is great. It's actually really shallow up against the island. It's about 18 inches or so, and yeah, sometimes you do get gulls and ducks and coots and everything diving on it, eating the bait. I did have a few coots pick up a few baits, but it weren't too bad. But the gulls just come down and picked up my rig off the spot. Yeah, unusual, you don't normally get that, but as I'm fishing in such a shallow spot, yeah, it does happen. I have seen a few bubbles around back of the spot, but apart from that, nothing really. Could have easily been bream. Well, I don't think I'm going to give it much more time, probably another hour or so, but we'll see what happens. You never know, it could suddenly just go. It's been really tricky fishing the park. There's a lot of snags, there's a lot of massive rocks in the water and in the margins. Yeah, it's rather dangerous trying to play them. It's really hard to get them away from their little homes, especially up against islands or things like that. And the swim I'm in at the moment, there's actually two big branches in the water, so if the carp comes out from the island, it gets snagged in those, and if he goes towards the island, obviously he's going to get snagged up in this tree that's hanging down, and there's roots around there as well. So yeah, it's proper hard to get them out of this spot, but this is where they are, and this is where I'm definitely going to catch more from. So if nothing else happens, then I might try a different spot next time, maybe further down the lake, just to try something a bit different. But I'll see what happens anyway on this session, and I'm just hoping that I'll get one more bite before I have to go. Well, that's it for another morning session down in the park. Disappointing, but at least I managed to get a take, I suppose. I can take the positive on that one, and they're still feeding and I can still catch them. It's getting a lot colder, we're coming to the back of November. Yeah, I'm just glad I got a take. But I'm going to keep pre-baiting this spot, and I'm also going to pre-bait some other spots that I'm definitely going to try next. Definitely going to be back down soon, and hopefully I can land something then. Oh, well, let's see anyway. Well, I am back down on the park lake. It's been a little while actually. I was meant to come down within a couple of days from the last session, and I ended up being a week, but busy doing things. But yeah, finally got back down, and I've put some pre-baiting day before, but it's a lot colder now. I'm much colder. We are very close to December, so it's definitely getting a lot chillier, and yeah, it's going to make it a little more challenging. Well, this is actually going to be my last session, just because I've got things on in December, and January is normally cold, so I'll probably pick it up in February and hopefully I have a reasonably decent early spring sessions down there, but it is challenging after all. But you know, you never know, it might be actually easier when they're a bit more, when they're waking up from that winter slumber. They might be easier to catch. Maybe I might be able to catch them from a few more spots. I've actually come back into the same swim I fished last time. I know I should have gone to a different spot, and I really wanted to, but I couldn't help it. There I go. Well, I've just been picked up by a gull. They're a bit lively this morning, and they've already picked up the rig. Oh, great. Usually when they pick up the rig, there's no chance of getting a carp at all, so that's really bad start. Last time when I reeled in, the hook was actually blunt, and I did get picked up at least once before I reeled in, so yeah. I'm hoping it's not blunt, the hook, now that it's been picked up. So like I was saying, I've come back in the same swim because I lost that fish last time, and I feel like that I need to come back and redeem myself and land one. And because it's my favourite spot on the whole lake, really, because I just, every time I come here I catch, and everywhere else I go it seems a blank, so you know, at least I'm going to give myself a better chance of getting one for the last session anyway. I've made two little changes. One, I've cast my rig a foot back than I normally would from the sort of tree that comes off the island there, and it's sort of collapsed in. And yeah, I've done that on purpose so I can get to the rod a bit more quicker, and they don't get underneath, because every time they get underneath they seem to snap me off on something. Most of the time I have landed them, obviously. But there is a snag to the right, and they might end up going in that instead, so I've got to be a bit careful. I've also tightened up the drag system as well, because I don't really want to give them any line. I was giving them line last time because I wanted them to sort of go past the big snag that's in the middle, sort of to the right, and go between the snag and the island where the tree is, and go through there and then go out into open water, and I can be able to land them. But the last fish didn't do that. It sort of went in towards the island near where the tree is, so instead of actually going out into open water and missing the snag, it went straight into the island and tried to snag me up on something. So yeah, bit of a challenge in this swim to try and land them, but I'm going to have a go today and try and see if I can actually land one. I've got the same bait on as last time, the Ocean Fruit Wafter, and I've got the same Boilies and mix that I've got, which is the Ocean Fruit 18mm, 15mm all nut, and 12mm all nuts as well. So yeah, same baits, same everything, same rig. Keep the same, it's working, so I'll just keep going with it, and hopefully I'll catch something on this session. Well, I managed to get a bite. This one £11, only a small one, but it's absolutely freezing at the moment, and this carp's absolutely freezing as well. So I'm quite surprised that I've had one. If I've had one this quick, surely I'm going to get another one. So let's get him back, and hopefully I do. Yeah, just nice to catch. Well, I've just recast the rod, it's back in. Took me a few more casts than normal. It's so difficult in this swim casting with all the hanging trees and everything, and it's like round the corner slightly, so you have to sort of like do it on sidewards, and yeah, it's not the easiest thing ever, but yeah, I managed to get back on it. It took me 2 or 3 goes, but back on the spot. Still looks good for another bite. It looks pretty promising. Just had a goal, could dive down and pick my rig up again. I can't stop them. I think they're seeing the yellow plastic corn on top. I did see something when I actually turned up. It was slightly to the right, a bit more out onto open water, but I didn't know if it was a bream or a carp or whatever, because I didn't actually see it. I just saw a big, like wake really, and I thought, oh, maybe something. But I wasn't sure. It was pretty cold, and I thought, is there going to be a bite? I mean, it's really shallow on the island, so is it going to happen? But I managed to catch one. I'm really happy with that. Only a small one, but it counts really as something landed after last time losing that one that seemed pretty good actually. Looked quite decent. I did see its tail come up and I was like, oh, that could be nearly £20, and the lines just snapped. So yeah, still gutted about that one, but I managed to land one. I'm pretty good. I just want to say, if you're interested in CarpBasics bait and you want to have a go, I have got a discount code, 10% off any product. It's ECF10, my discount code. Yeah, check it out and check the website out if you're interested. Have a go. They're really good baits. I've had amazing carp on it. I've had PBs. I've had lots and lots of 20 this year on it. So it is a very high quality bait. As it's proved in the park, it's done me multiple bites in the park when it's really hard fishing, especially as how cold it is, and it's still working for me, and it's still doing the business. The ocean fruit is really good during the winter as well, and the red lobster is brilliant during autumn, and summer it's pretty good as well. It seems to have come into its own in the autumn more than the summer, I'd say. The all nut did the best over the summer. But they're all good baits and they all do bites. You're probably thinking that I get the bait for free, so I'm just going to say anything and say the bait's really good, but it is really good. And you've got to check it out for yourself and try it out and see what it does for you. Well, I'm only going to give it another hour or so, but I'm sure there's a chance of getting one more. I'm sure there is. So yeah, let's see. Well, I did manage to get another one, but it's been really tricky down here, and obviously it's made it harder by the temperature dropping every single week. It's been dropping a couple of degrees. It started off really mild and I thought it'd be really good, but as we're coming to the back end of November, it's getting a lot colder and it's become a lot harder, but at least I've managed to catch. I'm really happy with that. I could have easily blanked on my last session, so yeah, I'm pleased. I probably won't be back until next year, probably early spring. So yeah, hopefully then I'll be able to catch that 20-pounder from the park. But for now, I'm just happy with what I've caught, and hopefully I can keep catching in spring and maybe produce that 20. You never know. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.